Greg Perry Sr. is a husband, a father, a community activist, and now he's running for the Charleston County School District's Constituent School Board District 4 seat. I sat down one-on-one with Greg for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores, or listen to this interview later on the free iHeartRadio app. Greg Perry Sr., it's so good to meet you.
Absolutely, man. It's good to see you as well.
Likewise. You sent me a message on Facebook, June 27th at 8:54. You said this: "Good evening, sir. I'm a native of North Charleston, South Carolina. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration and a Master's in Science and Education. I'm currently pursuing my MBA from the Citadel. Having been involved in several mentoring programs since 2008, I have long worked for positive change in North Charleston. My passion for education and educating our youth and empowering them with the necessary developmental tools for successful learning outcomes has motivated me to seek elected office. I want to bring fresh ideas and positive solutions to the Charleston County School District's Constituent School Board." Tell me why, Greg Perry, why the Charleston County School District's Constituent School Board for District 4?
Well, District 4 is North Charleston, so I'm a native of North Charleston. I've been born and raised in North Charleston all of my life. I matriculated through the Charleston County school system in North Charleston. I went to Berry Elementary, went to Hersey Elementary, went to Morningside Middle, Garrett Academy. So I'm familiar with North Charleston. It's just the area I've grown up in. So I have a passion. It's the only reason why I have such a strong passion for North Charleston. I've seen how individuals sometimes are treated. Sometimes individuals are overlooked in certain communities, in certain schools, and my passion for that caused me to want to run for Charleston County Constituent School Board District 4.
You talk about those schools. As we see right now, Greg, what are the three biggest schools in your mind in District 4?
Stall. Stall is definitely one of the schools. You have Deer Park. So that's another school in District 4. So I'm Area 3. So District 4 is North Charleston. I'm Area 3. But also in District 4 is North Charleston High School. It's another school where individuals are just, in my opinion, they don't get enough support for the students to be successful. And that's from several different areas, from the community, from elected officials. So that's another reason why I wanted to run for Charleston County Constituent School Board for District 4.
And you also told me this about mostly about priorities. You said this: making sure that funds are allocated to schools based on their needs. As we sit here right now, what school needs funding and why now?
North Charleston High School, Stall High School. Absolutely. So those schools definitely need more teacher points so they can hire more teachers to assist in making certain that our students have a high quality learning experience. We need more principals in some of these schools. It's a very highly populated school that needs, they need more science teachers, more math teachers, and they also need the brightest and the smartest teachers to be recruited to go to these schools.
And you talk about also preventing middle and high school dropouts. What is the data that you're actually looking at when it comes to dropouts in middle and high schools in District 4?
Well, if you go to the Charleston County Public School, if you go to the website, you'll see kind of the statistics on the schools as it relates to dropouts. But from personal experience and being involved in the community, it is a tremendous amount of individuals that are being put out of school, and when they get put out of school, they never come back, especially middle school. Middle school and high school, you got individuals that leave middle school in 8th grade and never go back inside the public school system. They just leave, and some of them go to the streets. Some of those individuals, they end up in jail. So it is my, I think it is the responsibility of the community to make certain that you care enough to go inside those schools, encourage those students to definitely stay in school, to focus on the education, knowing that education is important for them to have a good future. I tell individuals all the time that children are our future, and if we let our future go in the wrong direction, then our future will go in the wrong direction. So it is our job to be intentional in making certain that we care enough to go in those schools and pressure individuals to make certain that they provide the necessary developmental tools for successful learning outcomes.
And you also said this too, ensuring a high quality learning experience for all of our children. How?
Well, like I said earlier, as it relates to allocating money towards schools that actually need it, you have schools that are successful now that are, receiving more money. Then you have schools that are dealing with issues and challenges that are not getting enough money. So when I say making certain that money is allocated to all the schools and making certain that all of our children are able to get funding for their education, I'm talking about those schools like Stall High School, North Charleston High School, various middle schools, Morningside Middle School, a school that I went to when I was younger, that those schools get the proper funding, that they could hire more teachers, that they can even go out and recruit, go to various schools and bring in the smartest and the brightest individuals, and that eventually we can start increasing the salaries for teachers. These teachers do a tremendous job teaching our students. They go through giving them advice, dealing with attitudes, and giving them homework. So I think that those individuals, they need more money.
You talk about money, let me take you to the Low Country source. The headline reads this: CCSD pays $188,000 for floating consultant. School board candidate Jake Rambo revealed earlier this week that the Charleston County School District spent $65,000 for an image consultant. Low Country source recently learned that CCSD has paid nearly $188,000 to consultant Beth Havens since August 2016. Haven floats through various departments to work on special tasks assigned allegedly by Superintendent Jarita Postaway. When you hear this $188,000, what sticks out in your mind, Greg?
That we're paying too much money to the wrong individuals. And that's what I was saying earlier, allocating money to the right sources. We're paying money for individuals in salaries and increasing salaries for the wrong individuals. We're not increasing our teachers' salaries so that they can properly be paid for what they do. We can't really pay them for all that they do, but we can certainly increase what they do get now. They do a lot. I was talking to an individual the other day, and I was telling them how it is individuals, especially in Title I schools, they offer sometimes counseling. There are some individuals' second mother, they're their second, and acting as their second father. They're encouraging them, they're pushing them. Every one of us, that matriculated through Charleston County School District can say that there was one teacher that did more than they should have done to encourage us, to push us, tell us that we're somebody and that we can be somebody, and that if we're doing something wrong, we're doing the wrong thing, because this thing that we're doing is not going to take us where we need to be. So these teachers need to get, as relates to the funding, needed to receive those fundings, but we're giving fundings to individuals that aren't really doing too much to educate our children.
And you talk about the children. What is the future of District 4 in your mind?
I think District 4, in the right hands, we can certainly make certain that we stop a lot of dropouts.
Okay.
District 4, if in the right hands, can make certain that we provide a good education to our students, that we can involve the community in the school, because it takes a village. We can't just depend on just the teachers to make certain that our child receives that education. We as a community need to be involved. So, I think District 4 can certainly grow with individuals that care. I was talking to someone the other day, I was telling them I wasn't always a good kid. There were times, I was bad, and but one day I was trying to be a good kid, trying to impress my mom. So I went to the refrigerator and I was cleaning out the refrigerator. And when I looked in the refrigerator, I noticed an expired carton of milk. So being a good kid, or trying to be a good kid, I got the expired carton of milk and I tried to throw it in the trash can.
Right.
My mom walks in the room and she says, "Wait, what are you doing?" I said, "Mom, the milk is expired. I'm trying to throw this milk away." She says, "No, don't throw the milk away. I can still use it." And there are times when individuals see children that make mistakes and they deem that they've reached their expiration date because they made a mistake. But when you really care, you'll say, wait, what are you doing? We can still use them. I know they made a mistake, but we can still use them. And in the hands of an individual that really cares, you can take the valuable individuals, the treasures that individuals will throw in the trash can because of their mistakes, and we can still use them, and we can mature them, and we can nurture them until they reach their destined purpose in life. There are a lot of individuals that are valuable that people put in the trash can. If we had thrown a Martin Luther King away because of a mistake that he made when he was younger, we would have never had a Martin Luther King. If we would have thrown a Barack Obama away because of the mistakes that he made when he was younger, we would have never had a Barack Obama. There are a lot of individuals that are valuable that are in the trash can because they made a mistake and someone didn't care enough to take them out and to care enough to say, listen, this is not the way to go. This is the way to go.
And I know that you were campaigning just recently with J.A. Moore and obviously Marvin Bedarvis. How would you work with elected officials on the state and local levels if you were elected to Constituent School Board?
Again, like I said, it takes more than one individual. It takes a village. You have to be able to get support from every level of government, from different individuals in the communities, mentors, from people who've done good deeds but have not been publicized about. They don't end up on the news. They don't end up in the newspaper, but they are doing good things. With the help of those, you got individuals that are giving free haircuts to students that do well in school to encourage good grades. So, working with everyone to make certain that our community is a better place is certainly one of my top priorities.
And obviously you talked about going up in North Charleston, and obviously you're running for the Constituent School Board. But beyond that, who's Greg Perry Sr.?
Well, I am a husband.
Okay.
I'm a father of two. I have a 9-month-old and a 4-year-old. I've mentored individuals in the community for years. I've even served as a volunteer chaplain at the Al Canning Detention Center.
Wow.
So I've done a lot in the community. And like I said, sometimes there are individuals that do stuff in the community that don't end up on the news, so, and I don't really need publicity to continue to do well or to do for others. But that's pretty much me. I have a heart for the community.
Mm-hmm. And between now and November, what would you tell a voter sitting right next to you one-on-one?
That if you're going to vote for someone who cares. And a vote for Greg Perry is a vote for someone who cares.
Greg Perry Sr., thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you.
Anytime. Yes, sir.